To all who come to this happy place,
burn it down!
Disneyland is your land.
Burn it down!
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Mad Tea Party. We are here hanging out. We are glad you can join us. We are thankful for our sponsors, Getaway Today, Where in the Park, and Sunken City Designs. You will hear about them throughout the shows. Want to welcome Sam and Kevin here to the Tea Party. How are you guys doing?
Fantabulous.
Great.
So, for season 5, we got something new for all the listeners. Full disclaimer. So, for those of you that are just joining and new, and we'll share this in just a few more minutes when everyone else starts joining in, Mad Tea Party is very much for Disney as it is equally against Disney. So, we are pulling the curtains back, talking about what is magical, what's not magical, what do we think is Disney doing right, what do we think they're doing wrong. It's just opinions based on the information that they are sharing with us, whether that's in the parks, films, or all things Disney. I can speak for myself and almost everybody here. We have no actual hate towards Disney. So if we start ridiculing Snow White, it's just because we know and would like to see them do the best they can. And if we feel they are not, we're calling them out for it. But that does not mean we are saying we do not like Disney. I've shared that disclaimer because we've had some pushback that we are saying negative things about Disney. I like to think of it as constructive criticism, but to each their own. So, Kevin, Sam, overall, I'm going to bring this up because D23 just wrapped, and I know we've all been pixie dusting and enjoying what D23 is. I thought D23 was good this year, but I think they took some shots that I don't think they can backpedal on, if that makes any sense. So, overall thoughts. Do you think there's anything that you feel Disney bit off more than they can chew for D23?
I'm actually thinking that Avengers Campus. I don't think they're going to be able to give us both in a timely manner.
Okay.
Both of those. Because I mean they've already been planning the King Thanos ride for like 5 years now plus.
Well,
Whatever
we
that other
see what's
little
also
ride
been
is.
happening with Snow White, as we said. So
Yeah, but as far as the parks go, I mean, other than Tron, they've had a good track record of when they start something, they'll actually accomplish it.
yeah, well, getting it done, but getting it done in a way that tells a story that we actually want to continue to listen to, or
But
that
they're
gives
going
us that rewritability. So are we talking that? So Lou, are we talking? You said biting off more than we can chew, or than they can chew. Are we talking just
Correct.
timelines, or are we talking
Whatever.
deliverance?
If anything, if you think they announced it, do you think they can follow through with that announcement? Did they say something just to get excited? For instance, and I'm going to go back to it, last D23, you bring out Dick Van Dyke to highly promote, Cherry Tree Lane. Whether that was an attraction or not, you brought out Dick Van Dyke to promote that. And Cherry Tree Lane still just lives on papers and YouTube videos from those
Well,
that were
I
there.
think that's part of using Robert Downey Jr. to to show that ride to us. I think it was to hype up something that's not going to be as spectacular as we're hoping for.
Well, the Dick Van Dyke release was the 2019 D23. So they had a pandemic in
A
between that
pandemic
being
happened,
announced.
yes.
Yeah, and that being canceled. He also had a movie that flopped. So there were a few things that caused that to kind of get pushed to the side.
So Jen says Villains Land. It may take longer to make it happen. Okay, but that's still saying that they didn't give a timeline. So as long as Villain Land still comes, technically they didn't bite off more than they could chew because they didn't give a timeline on that. They were very tight-lipped about what they were going to share about
But
that.
here's the thing,
Besides
that
the
has to
concept
be
art.
their ace in the pocket. Like, that has to be their ace in the hole. If they're using that as their clap back to Epic Universe, which is what our speculation is, they're really going to have to show up and show out. And that is not going to be easy to do. That actually goes back to giving all of the creative liberties back to Imagineers and not putting such a constrained budget on the project. So
Back to things that have been on the drawing board for a long time. I mean, a villains themed land or park or whatever have been. I'm sure there are drawers full of ideas in Imagineering for what they would want to put into that land. They're going to be digging through to figure out what will make the best land that they could do. I know the concept art they showed just kind of like hinted at a roller coaster and vines and a castle. All they could really make out from that. What will actually happen there, we have no idea. We're hoping that it's going to be something amazing, though, right? Because it's how we always are with Disney. So.
Absolutely. And they have so much potential, but they really need to tap into their Imagineers, and they really need to tap into their creativity and new technology.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And for me, I think the thing that I think they bit off more than they could chew is the Monstropolis. I think they bit off more than they could chew on that. I don't think Monstropolis is not coming, but the way they presented it, I don't think we're getting a land. I think we're getting an attraction, maybe a facade that, like, kind of like how Remy's was built into the France Pavilion, where it's like, we didn't give you more, but we didn't take away much. I feel like Monstropolis is the coaster is coming, but the land isn't coming. They're just going to kind of fake it to make it to see what works. And the reason I say that, I don't remember the YouTuber's name that I was watching that shared this, but the concept art that they showed, he zoomed into the corner and it was from 2020, which means this idea has already been brewing. So it wasn't as new as some thought, because according to some rumors, the Rock and Roller Coaster with Aerosmith, that was supposed to be a Monsters Inc. ride. And I
Not
feel
when they
like
first opened it.
What's that?
They opened it before Monsters Inc. existed, I believe.
Yeah, I know. During the transition, apparently the Aerosmith scene has been slowly kind of fading out.
Yeah.
And it was rumored that they were announced that.
Changes.
Yeah, so I think Monstropolis, the ride, is coming. I don't have any doubts on that, but I do think they bit off more than they could chew by calling it a land, because I don't think it's going to be a land.
You think it's going to be, well, I mean, you also love Toontown, though.
Oh, absolutely.
It's an attraction and a facade, right?
Question is, how big does the land have to be to count as a land?
Exactly.
I mean, us as fans, what do we consider a land?
If they have the full facade for the ride and a Harryhausen's to eat at, it's a land.
Yeah.
So,
and a shop.
Me especially, I shit on Avengers Hallway a lot, and that's apparently a land.
It is a land.
I mean,
correct. You can look at the map.
It is,
we do have some comments,
technicality.
Lou. Amanda said, no way Monstropolis is a shoe-in. Easy builds. It writes itself. It needs a ride, a bathroom, a restaurant, and some shops. There you go. Hello, Kim. Hi, Jen. Mint chocolate chip ice cream. Sorry, I can't help you with that, big man. We have not heard anything about the Hercules live action or about Descendants 5. But, here's a hot take. They can take their time because my youngest needs to drive Autopia. So
sounds like it's sticking around longer than I was hoping for. So.
Yeah, well, Autopia is not going anywhere anyway, right? On any
now that they've announced Avatar for California Adventure, so
we don't know.
Gonna live another day with the Honda robot Osimo for some reason still. That died years ago.
George says, disagree. I want to believe they're going to kill it. They have no choice if they want to be on top.
This project
I don't disagree with you, George. Like I
think he just means in general everything.
Oh,
everything they presented, I hope they kill it. I hope that all those ideas they come out of the gate swinging. But like if you're shameless plug for our Discord, if you're on a Discord, you'll hear some of this conversation. But at the same time, too, that PTSD of not giving us what you say you're going to give us, or even remotely close to that. I mean, we go to Galaxy's Edge. There, Bob Iger himself shared so many cool things about what's coming to Galaxy's Edge, and we only got a fraction of that. I mean, the live music is in oh my gosh, I am blanking the name.
Ogas.
There's no live music.
Yeah, like there's live music in there, but even that's not even live. It's just a DJ. I mean, everywhere else, where's there live music in Galaxy's Edge?
There's music that plays in that one area next to the shopping area. It's every once in a while, though, as you walk underneath the like.
Oh yeah. So there's
bridge.
that.
What do you want? A live band standing on top of the Millennium Falcon?
I want Disney to deliver on what they say they're going to deliver on. Simply as that. If you can't deliver on that, then don't show us. And again, going back to Imagineering, look at I'm a broken record again, and we'll move on to our main
But
topic.
as far as delivery goes, isn't delivery and the vocabulary that they use up to your interpretation and my interpretation and Kevin's interpretation?
If you ordered
because live music very well could be the DJ.
But so let me ask you this. If you saw the same, let's look at fast food. If I ordered a pepperoni lover pizza and on the picture it showed hefty pepperonis and I got 5 on my pizza, yes, it's my interpretation, but am I still not, as a person who purchased that, not going to be upset?
Question is, how tasty is that pizza?
No, it shouldn't matter.
Can you enjoy the pizza regardless?
Is it still a delicious pizza? Then maybe it's okay.
If you said this is what you're going to give me and you don't give me
that, they showed you a picture and you assumed that's what they were going to give you.
Your concept art on it, so you wouldn't think it's what's coming.
Hold on.
They said guaranteed instead of concept. I mean, sure, you can get upset.
They showed us the concept of Disneyland and it fucking came. So I'm just saying, like, this is
there's
the
a
part
lot
that's
in
like,
the
why do we have
there's a lot that was not put in. And Amanda said he wants the Cantina band playing nonstop. Looking at original Galaxy's Edge concept art, we got 99% of it. What's missing, Lou?
That wasn't in the art. We found out about later.
I mean, let's start with the Banthas. Have the Banthas showed up yet? That
wasn't part of the original.
No, the Banthas were a project that was pitched. They were pitched.
I'm almost positive. I'll find online.
It was leaked, not like presented.
It was a pitched idea.
I'm pretty sure I never shared on the stage saying, "What about riding a Bantha?"
He said, positive. What about? He's trying to see how you would feel about it.
Nobody wanted to, so he shut it down.
So there was that. There was supposed to be all these, little, live. It's supposed to be a living land. There's nothing living in there except artificial stuff. Well, the stormtroopers, they wandered. There was supposed to be troopers, like multiples, up in the high beams, doing their bits. All that, and we got a fraction of that.
Amanda says he's upset about Tiana's because sometimes it gets cloudy when we were guaranteed blue skies and sunshine. And then she gives you the Mickey tongue stick out face.
let's hear from our first sponsor before we get into our main topics, because guess what? With you mentioning Tiana's, we're going to switch some things up, but here we go.
Well, hello, and welcome to Let's Get to Know Our Sponsor. Getaway Today has been helping Disney vacation dreams come true since 1990. Whether you choose to visit the happiest place on earth or travel to Orlando and beyond, they want to help you. Need to know the best hotel in the area? What theme park ticket should you buy? Have a last-minute change? No worries. Their travel experts are always here to help. Want to book a cruise and don't know where to start? Hey, they can help with that too. They will help you find the perfect cruise for your vacation, whether it is your first time or you're a well-seasoned cruiser. When you book your cruise with one of the Getaway Today's experts, you will have a dedicated agent to help you every step of the way. They take care of the details so you can have the most fun. Getaway Today has layaway, peace of mind travel, allowing you to cancel or make changes up to 72 hours in advance. You will always have the most up-to-date vacation information, both pre-arrival and upon your welcome. Getaway Today will guarantee the best prices with no hidden fees. And every time you book through Getaway Today, they will donate a portion back to a charitable organization in your area. And so far, over $4.5 million has been donated. So click the link in our show notes to start your Disney vacation planning for more information and the best deals. Tell them Walt's Apartment sent you. And until next time, enjoy the view from Walt's Apartment.
All right, we appreciate Getaway Today, and we want to welcome our fourth member to the tea table. Sean, how are you doing, man?
I heard you guys talking about pizza, so I got all excited as I was getting ready. I'm like, oh, they're talking about pizza.
Don't
Let's
get
go.
too excited. Don't get too excited. You might not get what you see on the advertisements, so don't get too excited.
You might have a couple less pepperoni. You'll be all right.
Oh, come on. It's all going to be good.
It's going to be delicious.
No, it's delicious. Not. So Amanda brought up, Tiana's. This is going to be a second subject, but we're going to plug it in now. So D23, they announced that Paris is getting a Lion King attraction.
Oh, shit.
Oddly enough, that Lion King attraction looks very similar to what we here in the States used to call Splash Mountain. Okay? Before everybody in the comments starts shitting on me and getting angry, I have no problem with Tiana at all. Did Tiana work? Sure. Did the storyline start to grow on me? Sure. Until D23 weekend. So, and not only that, D23 weekend not only dropped that we are getting a Lion King attraction in Paris that is identical from what we can see on concept art. Don't hold your breath on that. That it's a flume ride in logs. First off, there's no Pride Rock or water on Pride Rock the way they made it seem like. So they're making this work somehow. And we also find out that Critter Country is not called Critter Country anymore. It is now called Bayou Country. So they are now, I don't want to say force feeding because people get sensitive about that, but they are force feeding the theme of Bayou even down into Critter Country because there was apparently no other plausible fit for Splash Mountain. Looking at this, I mean, just looking at it, the way it drops down, and I'm not trying to armchair Imagineer here, but that looks like Splash. And where you have this lion, what looks to be Pumbaa, Timon, and Rafiki, that could have easily been on Tom Sawyer's Island, which apparently Walt Disney World has no problem just excavating. So why not do it to Disneyland and just retheme it? You already have it. Look at it.
Well, it doesn't make sense at Walt Disney World to have anything Lion King that's not in Animal Kingdom.
So are you only talking about Disneyland with the Critter Country having Lion King, or are you talking about both parks?
I think both.
That makes no sense.
I mean,
why would you put Lion
World
King in anywhere except for Animal Kingdom?
Why not?
Well, it's not part of the American frontier.
Animal Kingdom.
What's the big problem you have that it looks like Splash Mountain?
He wants to know why we didn't get this instead of Tiana's for Splash Mountain.
Yeah, this looks more like something that would easily be adapted into a flume ride than Tiana's, especially after seeing the footage that Tiana's is just a water ride invitation to a party that's at the very end.
Well, I think it's obvious why. I mean, it's in New Orleans Square, at least at Disneyland. You're not going to put Simba in New Orleans Square.
Hey, whoa, hold on. It wasn't in New Orleans Square. It was technically in Critter Country.
Okay, well, it's next to New Orleans Square, but now it's Bayou Country, which for the record, I think that's dumb to change the name of Critter Country. But anyway, that is what it is.
It was Bear Country originally, so Bear Country became Critter Country when Splash Mountain opened.
I think Critter Country's not. I think Critter Country would have worked nice still, honestly. But that's a different topic, I know. But
I just have the issue with Winnie the Pooh still being in the land with Bayou Country.
They're never getting rid of Winnie the Pooh's so damn popular. They're never going to get rid of him. So I mean,
Part of
that's
the bayou is he from?
like no. Now I agree with you more. Completely, I agree with you because when it was Critter Country, it kind of made sense, because they had the critter,
So
the raise whatever, and they were going to make the store half whatever and half Pooh. Now it makes no sense. Now you have Hungry, but then you have the Hungry Bear Barbecue, which doesn't make sense either because it's in Bayou, which is taking it back to Bear Country.
well, they
Then
have
they are just
bayou
going to
style
change it
barbecue,
to the
but
Hungry Gator.
The Hungry Gator, yeah.
I
Are
feel
there
like
no bears in
this.
the bayou? I don't know.
I don't know.
That,
I guess there's
There's
not
definitely
mountains
no.
either. So
There's
I mean,
apparently mountains
They're
now,
not.
though. I mean, my
salt
my
mines.
thing about
Salt
this though
mine.
is, oh, salt mine. Stop forcing it. I mean, let's begin with this.
I don't write the stories. I just read them.
That's that's the story that was given to us was that it's a salt mine.
I'm excited to see the story behind Avatar in California and Cars in the Frontier. So,
the Hungry Gator Lou's Barbecue.
Yes.
huh?
Man,
They should serve some gator. That'd be delicious.
all right. Well, let's move on to the next one.
Lou's like, okay, I'm still defeated here.
Well, no. So it's difficult when it's just like, oh, well, this is what they gave us. I mean, so the next topic we
But
got
the
is
thing is,
we
that's the thing. That's why I'm saying it's open to interpretation and what you're willing to accept. The rest of us are like, okay, it's a salt cave. And you're the one, but you have this like personal vendetta against accepting that it's a damn salt cave.
Yeah, I think a salt cave with logs makes more sense than Pride Rock with logs. So I don't know.
That's fair
I'll go
too,
with
yeah.
what we got.
Gator's good, Jennifer says.
A gator is
I
good.
mean, but going back to your Winnie the Pooh statement, I mean, Pride Rock with logs is almost as believable as Winnie the Pooh in Critter Country.
Oh no,
I mean,
we agreed that Winnie the Pooh.
I
doesn't
completely
belong
agree
there.
with you. That makes no
Critter
sense. They
Country,
should have left it Critter Country. It made more sense to be Critter Country, even with Tiana's there, because
Or get rid of Pooh.
there's critters in the new attraction. So it
Move
made
Pooh.
more sense to stay Critter Country.
Move Pooh.
To change it to
Wouldn't get rid of
Bayou
them.
Country makes no sense.
No, you can't get rid of Pooh, but you can move Pooh.
You can't.
Then put
where
something
you
else
lose-
in Pooh's spot. The Fantasyland Theater. We've already gone over this, so it makes perfect sense.
Okay, that's fair.
Listen
Or
to
we can-
imagine
Lock that
that.
down, put it in a ride
Or
there.
we can fill in our Rivers America too and make more space.
I don't
We
see
would
why not.
never.
I
We
don't
actually
see why
use our
not. I
Rivers
really
of
don't.
America over here.
Yeah, I know. We actually.
I
use
mean-
them.
I mean, we use our Rivers of America for the Mark Twain, yes, but I mean, ultimately, they don't use it. I mean, Phantasmic. I mean,
Sailing Ship Columbia is a great kinetic. We have the cannon going off like every few minutes when it's running. It's fantastic.
And the Mark Twain's pretty bitchin' too. I
It
mean, you gotta
adds
be
to
real.
the ambiance, Lou.
I think the boats are cool. Don't get me
Do you
wrong.
think we get the boat from Florida and like we have 3 boats in
No.
California now? They just add
We're
another
gonna ship it
boat.
this far.
No, that imagine the pain to get that into the Rivers of America.
That's true.
You have to steer around a lot of stuff. I think they would just either just
Helicopter it in.
throw it in a dump or like break it down and have it on display like over
Yeah.
at their
I mean, you could
Or-
use that just for Phantasmic. You could have it like as its own ship. You didn't have to worry about. That'd be smart. But
Well,
I think their Phantasmic is kind of
I think Lewis
Or-
will never be.
they can't
happy
handle
about
that
this.
size of a boat.
Lewis is happy a lot.
no, it's hard. It is what it is, I guess.
Disclaimer. I
Uh,
like your disclaimer, by the way. That was nice.
Yep. All right. So our next topic.
Are we done with that? We're done with the.
It's, I mean, it sounds like it. It sounds like
For
everyone's
the
just
record, Lou,
accepting
I
that.
agree that lions make more sense in Critter Country than Tiana makes sense in Critter Country. So the fact that they were really able to like rename it to Bayou Country makes more sense, but then also Winnie the Pooh doesn't. So story is kind of tough. And they're having some struggles with Imagineering and story,
For-
conveying that to
I
the
think-
rest of us who just pay attention.
I don't think Tiana's makes any sense. Like, especially seeing that they can do something like Lion King. I mean, we shared this prior to them when they first announced that was coming. Tiana, great movie. Princess of the Frog, wonderful movie. Does it need an attraction? 100%. Is that the attraction for it? No, it's not. I mean,
disagree.
I mean, that especially when it's just an invitation to a food gallery or a food party, and in order to get there, you got to go down a 50-foot drop. That's great. Yeah. Hope you're hungry. Like, come on now. Like, how? Like, what story is that? Like, it doesn't work.
You
Especially not to
empty
have
the
any type of-
contents of your stomach so that you're hungry at the bottom.
Well,
Yeah,
you're clearly not from the bayou.
Clearly.
Is the story about food or is it about a party? I'm confused at this point.
I haven't been on it
gathering
yet.
guests. It's gathering guests for the big hurrah of Tiana's Foods.
Okay.
You shrink down in the little loop-de-loop part to
Right.
tell all the little insects.
Trying to get a
party.
band together.
Yeah,
That's what I thought it was. I'm so confused.
I haven't been on it.
Band
That's just what I've heard.
invitation. You're still just getting people to the big party in the end. Like there is no real story there. Like how do you not have Dr. Faciliating? That would be perfect to the drop.
Wait a second. I'm going to stop you for a second.
Stop me.
Okay. Well, when it came out in Florida, you're like, I don't know. It looks kind of weird. And then you watched it a few more times later. You're like, I'm going to give it an 8. You give nothing an 8, and you gave this ride an 8. And now you're talking shit about it. I don't understand.
I'll answer your question.
Okay, please do.
Because of this.
Oh Jesus!
I mean, look at that. The crazy part is you could have easily sculpted that rock in and not given us Tiana's up until I saw that concept art
anywhere in where that attraction is. It would not fit.
I mean,
in Disneyland where it is.
Because it looks like it'll fit just fine. Look at it.
You're gonna go from New Orleans to freaking Safari Land for literally like 2 acres. So that's about how big that land is.
Kind of a weird because you're going from Adventureland to New Orleans Square, then to go back over to like the
you went from New Orleans Square to Splash Mountain.
Jump.
You went to Critter Fantasyland. New Orleans to Critter Fantasyland. Are we serious here? It's Splash Mountain and Winnie the Pooh. That land is Critter Country. Point on the map where Critter Country is. Pull out a National Geographic map and point to Critter Country.
So the thing is, Lou, you don't know the other changes that are still going to come. They're still going to add more bayou elements. There's more to come that's going to elaborate on the story. They may move Pooh. They may make changes.
Not going to move Pooh.
So you're telling me now a whole land is off of one animated movie.
I just had to filter myself so bad.
No, why? This is the show.
Precedence. Oh no, just to the comments.
Is there a live action Bambi still? I don't know. I haven't even heard of a live action Bambi. Anyone heard of that?
Just Sam's everyday life. I see what you're saying.
Look at George. I dropped 50 feet. I want ribeye, not a beignet. Again, for all the Pixie Dusters, I'm not hating on Tiana. I think it's a wonderful movie. It's a great animated feature. No hate there. But dropping the Lion King concept art, Tiana's now makes no sense.
And neither would Pride Rock.
Why?
How?
Right next to
for the same exact reasons that you're saying Tiana doesn't make sense, except for they gave Tiana a story. Give Pride Rock a story that makes it make sense.
Tiana fits better than the Lion King.
You're smoking something. How?
Because it's Bayou-ish. Simba is not Bayou-ish. It's New Orleans.
And then put it in Walt Disney World.
Yeah, I don't understand why it went to Paris. It went to Paris, right?
No. I'm saying
it should have went to Animal Kingdom. Paris. I completely agree with that.
Okay, yeah, but there's there's obviously
ride, over at the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. It's
But again, it doesn't have to be a Splash Mountain clone for the Lion King either. So that whole notion was kind of weird to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think me personally, I think this would have made a lot better sense over Tiana at Splash. I'm just saying. Splash Mountain is not the Tiana.
That whole back end from Hungry Bear back to Pooh is still under construction. They can add so many bayou elements down that walkway. Would you like them to add nasty mosquitoes that bite you the entire time?
I mean, I don't know why we're having to go bayou. I mean,
I agree with you there. I don't understand the bayou having to call it bayou country. That makes no sense to me.
Well, I don't know. Wait, I mean, okay. I mean,
It
you
could be
could've-
in anticipation of more to come.
That's true. Could be.
So
Not all of the chickens have hatched.
Avatar could be right behind it. Who knows?
That would not be a bayou.
Doesn't make sense geographically, but sure.
oh,
Let's be
man.
honest. Does anything really make sense geographically in the parks anymore?
As
Nope.
far as like it wouldn't fit in that spot, like with land.
Yeah. Well, you could do a
Story wise, it would make no sense, but
you
also
could build
like
a, or
they
you,
wouldn't
you could build
it.
a tunnel from behind the back of Critter Country back into the back lot where Disneyland Forward's going and put it all back there. I mean, you could do so many things. That's been talked about for years.
If Pooh gets moved and in that spot, we get a dark ride for Dr. Facilier.
For the love of God, no.
I'd be down.
What? You just said you want Dr. Facilier. Is this just because he's not on the splash mountain ride?
Well, it makes sense for that ride. There's no anyone on the internet you find like, yeah, it's a fun ride, but there's none of that. And that storytelling is not there. It's just a giant sing along. Like you have a 50-foot.
Bad?
Huh?
Is that bad?
Well, I mean,
They've gone away from like the
storytelling,
Tony Baxterism of like, fear minus death equals fun. So that's the reason why Snow White is no longer the scary adventures, it's the Enchanted Wish, which is why Splash Mountain is no longer you're diving down into thorns. Now you're going to a party.
Yeah,
but you're having fun, you're not being almost killed.
Yeah, but Snow White, you still get like the poison apple scene, the witch.
All right, Lou, I got it. I know how
antagonist.
they can make this better for you. They can have gators walking around and you can contend with them.
Actual live gator?
No. I'm so
I
tired.
don't want to wrestle a gator.
Smartass.
I'm so tired
No,
of her.
she's just aggressive pixie dusting ass over here. That's just
Oh, I did that
all
just
right.
for you.
Yeah, I know you did.
You got any more topics?
I got more topics, but you got
His heart
Huh?
hurts. Look at him.
Yeah,
He's
so you're
sad.
upset.
I'm just
Is he gonna cry?
not fucking cry. What the what?
Poor guy, man. He's like,
How dare you?
all broke
Lou,
down.
Lou,
dude.
do you need a hug?
You need to calm down. All right, so our next topic.
Group hug
So
right here.
let's take a quick break and hear from one of our sponsors, and then we will come back.
Is it Sunken City?
No, it's not.
It's Sunken
That's
City.
last.
I like to do my announcements through it.
No. It was horrible. It was like bad D23. Here we go.
Hey fam, what scavenger hunt are you doing?
Well, we are doing Where in the Park.
Do you guys know Where in the Park? Because we do.
We do. So how you play this is that they give you a deck of cards with an image on it, and you get to look around and see where in the park that is.
And they're fun. So if you like to find stuff, this is what you need to do.
The amazing game, Where in the Park, right here.
If you're a seasoned Disney park goers as we are, it's a fun, challenging even for the hardcore Disney parks fan.
We have played the Where in the Park games that we felt like, ooh, we got
Still
this
a
in
challenge.
the bag. Oh no, yeah, still a challenge, a fun challenge though, not an impossible challenge.
Check
Yeah,
them
really
out.
they get really close to details, and you're like, I have never even seen that. I don't even know.
Where in the park have I seen that?
The great thing about these is that they're not in attractions and they're out in the open places. It's meant for families to play.
Besides people who've been there a lot, it's fun for people that are new to the parks as well, because you catch some of those details that you would probably miss when you're first going.
So there's images that you are finding on one side of the card, and then the other has the hint and the answer that you can reveal if you choose to.
Before it was just the hint and the answer, but now if you really want the land,
It'll tell you
they'll
where.
give you the land for an extra hint. You guys can take as long as you wish without the hint.
Yeah.
Without the hint, it's hard.
But that's what makes it fun.
But they do not just do Disney parks, obviously. What other parks do you guys actually cover?
Universal and
yeah.
all that good stuff.
East Coast, West Coast, and they're
Yes.
continuing to expand even more after that.
Check them out, whereinthepark.com, if you need to get some game packs. They are so much fun.
We appreciate Where in the Park.
They're awesome.
We love
Kevin and
that.
Amanda.
Get you some Where in the Park today.
Hell yeah.
Use promo code Walt's APT Podcast to save 10% at whereinthepark.com.
What a fantastic commercial.
I love that. There's so much to unpack in that commercial. There's it's just like, whoa. You guys have an
It's
app?
going, yeah. Not yet, no.
It looked like they were playing. So were they playing?
We
the
have a
game
website. So if you scan the cards now, it takes you to our website.
Okay.
Just looks
Sean just shared. He doesn't play. Wild.
right. Not the new version. Definitely.
Yeah,
I
not
still
the new
scratch
version.
them.
Lou, I don't go to the park all the time. I'm sorry. I played it back when it was old. Back when it was the OG were in the park.
They're moving on up in the world.
Have you played it? Have you
Reimagining
played it, Lou?
things.
Yeah.
You are kind of salty tonight. Just like
Jen says, "I love that lady in the red." She
I
was
was
so excited.
That's my mom.
I was in the end.
That's
Kevin's mom.
Hey,
It was
we were so
genuinely
gangster.
excited
We
too. I
played at
didn't correct
SeaWorld.
her. Yeah, that's true. They
Sean
played the
has the
SeaWorld one with the QR
collector's
code.
edition.
I do.
Vintage.
do.
is what it's called.
Vintage.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's the next topic, Lou?
Yeah.
All
What
right,
else you want to
we have-
bitch about, Lewis?
Oh, is that what we're doing? I'll bitch about a lot. I mean,
No, not you ever. You never would do that.
Give me 2 years. Let's find out if half the stuff they mentioned at D23 comes true.
Oh my gosh.
I doubt
Okay.
any of this will be finished within 2 years.
All being built,
What
Lou.
happens?
Did you listen to Josh?
Oh gosh, yep.
It's all in
It's
development.
Lord
Jesus.
to us.
That's who he is.
All for one. You can't
All
swear
right.
with all for one and an orchestra if you don't mean it.
Sean
John just said what we're all thinking.
So
I think only
So-
Sean can say that.
we have entered the era. You know what? Speaking of
Oh
sequels,
shit! Here he goes again.
everyone's so stuck about Tiana's Ride. How come Tiana didn't get a damn sequel?
Right
Who?
is her sequel.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It takes place
Probably
after the
not.
original movie. That's why she has
Well.
that outfit and why there's no Dr. Facilier. It's because
And
she's
it's
already
why
dead.
you're not
dead.
retraveling through the story of
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah, why would we go through the same story we've already seen?
Yeah, that'd be a really boring Little Mermaid ride.
Interesting.
At least you get
Okay,
to
we'll
see
play it. Thank
Ariel,
you.
though.
Louis,
So
we're all
we have-
so much in Lewis's head right now, and he doesn't.
we have so we have Incredibles
Wow, I made
3, which we know how that plot's going to happen.
Oh god!
I mean,
Tell us, Lou.
think about it. It's the same as the first two movies. Frozone goes through a midlife crisis. He wants to do hero stuff again. He gets employed by some secret team. Elastigirl and Mr. Incredible have to come save him because Frozo's their homie and he's in trouble. They get caught, and the kids have to save him. I'm pretty sure it's how part 1 and 2 played out as well.
I decided to go back
Do we
and
really-
after it comes out to really compare. So we can do the side by
I mean,
side.
we've already had. Would you say 1 and 2 are almost the same movie, except now it's Elastigirl versus Mr. Incredible?
Not gonna lie, I didn't even watch 2. I don't like sequels.
I
Amanda
mean, I
said
loved the first one. I thought the second was kind of a letdown.
Jack is now a teenager. Violet's got a kid now.
Oh my gosh!
Whoa, that's way in the future.
Hey, I'm down. That'd
Yeah.
make things interesting. It would definitely make
Single
things
mom.
interesting.
She's a single mom dealing with the hacks of raising a super.
It'd be
kid.
like Disney's
Hero.
version of
Super kid.
Married with Children.
Married with Children.
It's like you have Al Bundy now playing like Jack's voice. Like that'd be great. Why not? That'd be different. That would cause you like, whoa, what
Yeah,
According to
do
Lewis, it's
something.
just going to be the same story for a third time, and we're all going to go spend our hard-earned money to watch it.
Yep.
I mean, look at Incredibles 2, except for Sam because she doesn't like sequels. Sean, can you honestly tell me that Incredibles 2 is not a carbon copy of Incredibles 1, except now it's Elastigirl story versus Mr. Incredible?
I mean, there's a lot of similarities, yes, but I think it's a good movie. I think it's fun. I think it's cool.
Amanda said, "Just wait for the trailers. Give it time to build."
That's right, Louis. You didn't even you were talking shit about Snow White till you saw the trailer. Now you think it looks kind of cool.
Well, I mean, when you drop the bar so low,
Oh god,
the only thing you can do is come up. Let's be honest.
that's fair too. Anyway,
I
I
mean,
thought
you went from 7 middle-aged, all different
Jen
shapes
said,
and
"Or
sizes,
you
male-
won't because it's too far away to go to the movie theater."
oh come on,
That's
Jen.
okay. Yeah.
Damn.
All right, Jen.
Call him
You
out.
went
All right, I'll
there.
turn- you went there, huh, Jen? That's crazy. Freaking Florida people. Where's David? Well, yeah, the bar's long gone. I mean, compared to that image of, the Goodwill team walking down the long grass to now getting something more similar to what we traditionally know as Snow White.
I
Yeah,
think
it's a huge
that
improvement.
that's just the world we live in now, where everyone's trying to get that freaking scoop, and like I think that scoop sometimes ruins stuff. I mean, just like even when they were filming Deadpool, you would see a lot of these. But I think Ryan Reynolds was actually releasing those on purpose, from what I understood. He was releasing like snippets on purpose for people to see. But I think people were just like getting into that. Oh, I got this a scoop or whatever. It's like you just never know. I agree with who said it. Amanda or Jen said it. Just let it give it time. Wait for the trailer comes, then pick it apart. Just like we all don't like a live action Aladdin. You know, I don't know. If
Jen said,
I know
"This
I
is
don't,
what
but-
you get when you make me stay up till almost midnight."
There you go.
Hey,
She turns into a gremlin.
First off, the live action Aladdin was pretty good because it was.
You're out of your
different than
mind. It was so bad.
I didn't hate it. I mean, it was a lot better than Pinocchio or
Oh,
something like that,
Pinocchio
or
was horrible.
Lady and the
Pinocchio was
Tramp.
horrible.
Yeah.
Aladdin was
Lady the
terrible.
Tramp.
I thought Will
I
Smith did
mean,
a terrible job.
Dumbo. I thought
Oh,
Will
yeah.
Smith did a great job making it his own.
Dumbo creeped me out.
Yeah, Dumbo was weird.
Live action Dumbo was weird.
I only saw
Weird.
Dumbo with like
I mean-
a preview where the CGI wasn't finished, so it looked good. So they should just release that as the actual movie.
Yeah. Or the Stitch on a stick that they were showing, like, you know, during this, everyone had their, you know.
Hey, but remember, the Stitch isn't happening. I'm just playing. So
If it is,
we
it's just
also
going to be
got-
just like the other one. It's going to be just like the other one, right? Am I right?
Well, I mean, it is
Or
a
the
live
Elvis.
action remake.
That makes sense. Okay. I take
Oh,
that.
you already know what I'm going to say to that, though. I mean, they better make it the same way. I mean, but you could really give Stitch some heart. You can give that movie, if you're really looking for a movie to show women empowerment, that's the one. Just being honest. Like, that's a strong story that they have a lot
Good
of
luck
room to
finding
really
a woman
improve
built
more.
like Nani. That's
Right?
not realistic.
I mean, you slap a wig on The Rock, and I'm sure he could play it. He'll probably do it. Because, you know, it's family. He'll come up and he'll do his cha-cha dance. I'm just kidding. Raleigh Litter. If you know that I hate The Rock on Disney, that's why. Nothing personal. Don't kill me in the comments. Don't cancel me. See, ever since the Snow White drama, I feel like I gotta like say it
More
and then
Rock
put a
movies.
disclaimer.
Amanda wants more Rock movies.
Yeah.
Oh, they're coming.
Got that Monster
What if
Jam.
What if the Rock came back in Pirates of the Caribbean and he was like the new
Absolutely not.
Captain Jack?
Captain Jack?
Yeah.
I would be
totally.
so disappointed. We've
they-
already
they-
seen him on a boat, and it was underwhelming.
Yeah, they did. They
We
tried
already
that.
did Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, remember? Somebody stole life. I can't leave far from the river. I don't die. That's crazy. I thought that was Pirates of the Caribbean. Just saying. Like,
I love when Lou goes,
What was
"That's
it?
crazy."
Or he goes, interesting.
like, think about all the movies we got. We got all sequels except for is it Hopper?
Lou doesn't
Elio.
drink.
Yeah, Elio. Elio has been in the pipeline for some time. It was supposed to come out last year, and then it got pushed back. But there was that new one. I think it's called Hopper.
Hopper.
The only new movie that really got announced outside of sequels. Remember when Disney was like, "We don't do sequels. We only do original stories," and now they're like, "Hey, we don't do original stories anymore. We just do sequels." Like Frozen 3, Toy Story 5. I mean, they're really trying to be like Universal and get that Fast and the Furious 11. We're gonna have toys that go to space.
I'd be. Well, I mean, we already have. We had Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, that happened.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm
Did
just
you miss
saying.
that? Did you
Yeah,
miss
but
that sequel?
Yeah, right. It wasn't a sequel, right? It was a spinoff. But I mean, to the point though, is like
that
they're
movie
obviously
was
looking at the
bad.
bank account, right? They know where the money's being made, and when you
Right.
have Inside Out 2 like breaking records, it's gonna steer them in that direction when all their original IP comes out, like Elements, and no one goes out to see it, even though it's really good. So we're as an audience, we are paying them to make sequels.
So
And
I think the reason why
and
Inside
they
Out
didn't
worked.
respond.
I think the reason why Inside Out worked so well is because the first one left you really wanting more.
That's
Zootopia
crazy. Create a
2?
movie that would want you to have a sequel for it. Interesting.
Sequels
yeah.
don't have to create all new characters. You have new storytelling, yes, but we already know and love the characters and have an emotional connection with them.
Yep. And there are
Tim
some
Jones thought
sequels that,
Lightyear was good. I'm sorry, Tim. You thought that was good.
and there are
Okay.
some sequels. There are some sequels like Toy Story 2 that worked. Obviously, Inside Out 2 worked. I mean, you could say Finding Dory was a sequel to a fault, but it wasn't it a prequel?
No, it takes place after. Pretty sure you have.
Oh yeah, it does. It does. You're right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, so there are some sequels that leave you wanting that story.
Can I ask a quick
Zootopia
question?
2. Yeah, absolutely.
What do you guys think the best Disney sequel is?
Toy Story 3.
3?
Oh yeah.
I would say 2.
I think the one that was nominated for a Best Picture award.
That's fair, but yeah.
I would say Toy Story 2 just because it came before Toy Story 3, but Toy Story 2 and 3, Toy Story in general, the first 3 are the best trilogy in
Agreed.
the world of Pixar.
They're very, very good movies. Sam, what do you think the best sequel is?
Toy Story 3 as well.
Yeah.
Inside Out is a close 2 is a
I
close
didn't even think
second.
about that. Inside Out was pretty damn good too.
Inside Out 2 is a close second.
Hocus Pocus 2.
Oh,
Tim
no,
says.
Tim. No.
Oh.
God, no. Hocus Pocus 2, he liked it. I'm not going to judge it. I'm not going to lie.
Well, no, I mean, Hocus Pocus 2 was a great sequel to Hocus Pocus because, I mean, they're both kind of in like that campy kind of fun zone. But just like, I feel like we've kind of moved on past that as like I don't know, I've aged out of that target demographic. I think it's my fault, not theirs.
I think Hocus Pocus left me wanting more. Hocus Pocus 2 left me not wanting more.
Hocus Pocus 2 made you want that last few hours of your life back.
Yeah, and the sequels announced, none of them were like, oh, great. Like it was, no. Absolutely not.
Honestly, it just seemed like a giant fan service, and it didn't do anything to progress the storyline any further.
All right.
Which is kind of what I think is going to happen with Freaky Friday.
If you make Toy Story 5,
Freakier
if you
Friday.
make Toy Story, oh God, don't start with that one. That was another.
I think
It's officially started filming.
At least it's something's official. I mean, we can give you that.
Oh shit.
I mean, yes, there are shovels at Haunted Mansion and Tiana's. I get that. There ain't shovels anywhere else, though.
Okay, that's got nothing to do with what was said on this at D23 weekend. That shit's been going on for months. So you can't say that has anything to do with shovels in the dirt. That's already stuff that's been planned. We're talking about new stuff going forward.
I mean, Tiana's was announced the D23 prior, which gets into our last topic about timelines.
Wait, don't we have our last spot that we're gonna you do the voiceover this time then.
All right, fair enough.
All right.
I did such a bad job. All right.
All right. He sounds so Australian when he does that. All right.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
He's
Sean.
been watching Bluey, hasn't he?
I think Tim is from Australia. Tim, aren't you in Australia?
Hey, Bluey makes more money than a lot of. All right, here we go. Let's listen to our last sponsor. So this is a video about myself, how I draw and create. Creating this ad, I sat at a computer and put my artwork on video format and uploaded it here. I got all kinds of merch at sunkencitydesign.com. It's here. It's on your screen wherever you are watching this. If you are listening to my not romantic voice, I'm sorry. But yeah, there's merch right there. It's all online. We actually just dropped Walt's apartment merch on there. And it's available now. Completely doing a voiceover because I have yet to finish this ad. But yeah, it's a great ad. Follow me on Instagram. And there it is.
I'm gonna steal from the book of Kevin. Go to Walt's APT pod. Put in the code Walt's APT pod for extra savings.
Do you have a discount code for your site?
I think it's the same.
No, not yet.
What?
No, not yet. No.
Full price.
Boom! Sounds like the ad spot is finished. Wrap it up.
Tim said, yes, I am from Australia. Jen said, awesome work, Lou. Oh, Jen gave you a compliment for the first time tonight.
There you go.
See, me and Jen, she gets it. She's angry and happy at the same time.
It's asleep now, so she'll be
follow
plugged.
me on Instagram. Oh, yep, there's my website. That's fucking awesome.
Sunken City Design, no S.
Yep, that's me. That's oh, check that out.
So I,
So that's sometimes. Other times
I made
it's
this
no.
art and I uploaded it here.
We got some merch.
I want my discount code.
So real quick plug on why there's no discount code. I had a discount code before, but the way
This
my
is how
website's
he's
set
saying
up,
he's breaking up with us.
Yeah.
No. So there was a discount code, but the way my website's set up is I am no professional website building. So when merch is purchased, after it goes from the website to PayPal into my debit card, there's a $2 fee for every time that happens. And in order to keep merch as affordable without coming out of pocket, so full disclosure, on all merch that I sell, unless it's the stuff that's shipping from my spot myself, I only make like $1 off of it. So therefore, in order to keep it as affordable without coming out of the pocket and paying for it, that's why. Because I lose about $6 in transaction fees from the website to the manufacturer, from the processing portal to my PayPal. So that's why there's like a $2 or $1 fee. So that's why there's no discount code. Once I figure out how to go from website to me and eliminate all that, discount codes will be back. So I do apologize for that.
No need to apologize, bro. Thank you for what you do. The merch looks cool. We got to get some of that.
Do we have
Order it
merch
over
we
here.
can pull up?
I don't think we have any.
Absolutely. We
No.
sure can.
Oh, yes, we do. Yeah.
What was the last topic while you're doing that?
So the last topic that we have is deadlines. That Disney, now granted they haven't set deadlines and all that for everything, but the timelines they did share, do you think those timelines are manageable? Do you think that is so? For instance, they said they're going to break ground, I think it's early next year for Coco. If I'm not mistaken, it's 2025.
Coco is
26.
Yeah.
26. Okay.
Was Encanto 25?
I think so.
Should be. They already have the trailers on the ground over there. They're ready for it.
So my question is, with all that, is are those timelines? Because correct me if I'm wrong, for everyone that's in the chat and was Disney enthusiast, traditionally at D23, ground or blocking off was already there. There was that suspicion of what are they doing and why.
Mm-hmm.
Then D23 came and you're like, oh, that's what they're doing. They were already in movement. Right now, I forget who said the comment. I forgot where I read it. Right now, we are 2 years away from being 2 years away. Meaning, like, a lot of this isn't really, walls are not really going to go up this. So D23 on their timeline, next D23 is still going to get a lot of slack because people are like, yeah, you promised a bunch and none of that's even broken ground yet. Because a lot of it, if we go based on Coco is now not breaking ground until just previously before D23 next time.
Right.
So by giving us timelines, did they put too much pressure on themselves? Because some of these things, Monstropolis, are anticipated to be a land. And things like Tiana have just one ride to be rethemed and guts, pulled and added, has taken a substantial amount of time. And yes, I know sometimes it's faster to build from nothing than transform. I get that.
Right.
But you have a new attraction going to almost every park. And we saw how much when Tiana's was being built in Florida, how much it slowed down Disneyland. Now Disneyland is picking up momentum. Now it's Florida's closing. These projects.
My concern is they can meet their deadlines that they're setting, or they can do it quickly, but we may not get the quality that we're hoping for on all of those things.
Yeah.
If engineers are being spread thin, if budgets are being spread thin. So it's kind of a wait and see game right now. I think that they will attempt to give us everything as promised. But but also they haven't promised us very much. They've promised us an attraction here, an attraction there, an attraction
Right.
that land here. And they've never given us specifics on those things. So Lou, back to your initial qualm of concept art. You may not get the concept art, but that's also not been promised to you. It's just a pitch.
Oh no, they played that. They played that very well this year. They made sure to clown, joke, and let everybody know that, you know, we're not flex tape. You're not going to get what we're saying you're going to get. You might get something like that. Like, you may have ordered it from Amazon, but you may get Temu.
I think
Just-
as far as
just be okay with
deadlines
that.
go, yeah, but I think as far as deadlines go, we will see a lot of things produced in the next couple years. Or at least groundbreaking on things in the next couple years. But I do think that some things are going to look and feel rushed to us. Those of us who like really go into it looking for the storytelling aspect, looking for all of the things that make Imagineering great. I think they're going to be spread thin. Amanda said, big trip to Home Goods.
That's right. I think my opinion on this is that in regards to Disneyland itself, I mean, right now Disneyland is like there's so many things shut down and being fixed and being repaired. I think that's being done for the 70th anniversary, which is next year. I don't think you're going to see much construction going on during the 70th anniversary year. I think what's going to happen is they're going to build that parking structure with no one really even paying attention to it. That's going to give them the freedom to everything else they want. I think everything that they announced for Disneyland Resort, I think you'll see done by 2028 for the Olympics. That's I think that's my, you know, they said 2026 they're going to break ground for Coco. They didn't say anything about Avengers when did they say when they're going to break ground or do anything? Did they give any dates for that? They just said it's coming still, right?
No, there was no dates. It was just Josh Jamal's favorite line saying that all these ideas are already in progress.
Right. Right. Well, in progress is better than just talking about it. So, I mean,
but I will give you that. But with that, Avengers, I mean, geez, King Thanos has been on their idea board for years.
You know, it's funny. I
At
heard
this
you guys
point-
talking about that, about the Avengers ride. Do you know, remember back when the original idea for the Avengers ride was Wakanda? They wanted to see how Black Panther 2 was going to do before they decided but it was originally going to be that you're going to be flying on like jetpacks, kind of like the ride that's in Florida. I'm not sure what it is, the Flight of Passage or something like that. That was the original idea they came up with when Bob Chapek talked about it years ago about flying through Wakanda. Now it's a boat ride with Thanos, completely different.
No, it's not about you're in a flying ship.
Oh, okay,
Like
that's what I'm
you're
sorry.
gonna
The
be
boat
flying.
ride is Coco. I apologize, but
Yeah,
I think
It's Transformers, pretty much.
back to your question. I think Disneyland wise, I think you'll see everything by 2028. I think in Florida, they announced a shit ton of stuff for Florida, which is very cool. It makes me want to actually go. I probably wouldn't plan a trip now to Florida till all that was done because all that stuff is so cool. Because I mean, Monstropolis would be amazing. To see the Encanto house alive, you know, would be cool. And the Villains Land, obviously, and the East Coast version of Radiator Springs, which is in the dirt or whatever, off-road course or something. I'd rather wait and see all that than plan a trip before that, but that's a lot. And I think you're going to see that. I think you're looking at 5 years for that, which will give time for Epic Universe to build itself, and then they're going to say, "Boom, here we are back." And I think, yes, I'm not even talking negatively about Epic Universe. It is.
I was also going to bring up Epic Universe because I'm sure that's what's causing some delays with them.
Oh,
as well,
absolutely.
As far as breaking ground.
Yep.
Yeah, when you have every contractor in the area
Absolutely.
working
You
on that
have
huge
to.
project, it's hard to say, "Hey, also come build our stuff too."
Well, there's also some
that
some
can
Imagineers that like to jump back and forth between Disney and Universal. So
There's a lot of people who aren't like official Imagineers or creative for Universal who work for both companies.
Yep.
Yeah.
creating
they
different
contract
props
out
and
a lot.
stuff,
Yep.
I agree with Kevin on
with-
that comment. I think with the you can't really do anything with the construction because you can do stuff and fix stuff in the park like they're fixing the test track and that stuff. They can work on that, but you can't start ground up construction because everyone's building that other park. Yeah, isn't it down the road or something? It's pretty close, right?
It's pretty close.
Yeah, I mean,
but I mean,
so-
as that gets to wrapping up, I understand them being ready to jump into the tropical Americas
Yeah.
over Animal Kingdom. because that's one of those things that's been needed for so long. They cleared
When
the
does
land
Epic
for
Universe
where
open?
Encanto's going
It's just
years
sometime
ago.
next year, right?
Yeah, all they said so far is 2025.
Yeah.
There's stuff coming out with like a deal that ends at the end of April, so people
Oh.
are speculating it's going to open in May, but
Wow.
nobody really knows.
Okay. Sorry, Lou.
To Sean's, no, you're good. This is a great conversation. To your point though about the Olympics, do you think they're pushing stuff out too far? Because it took Galaxy's Edge how many years to be complete?
2.
2?
Mm-hmm.
So and you're trying to build Avatar Land.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're going to build Avatar Land, if you're going to build Avatar Land and Coco, that's not all going to fit in DCA proper. You're going to have to do something with the parking. They're going to build that parking structure first. They didn't even talk about the parking structure. That has to be the first thing done to.
Well, I mean, parking's not really your main exciting thing about going to the
brag
theme
about
park.
that.
But I mean, that Eastern Gateway project a few years ago was a big deal. They made a big deal about it when they bought a hotel for no reason.
Yeah, it's not
and took it down,
D23 worthy though.
Right. But I think that's what you're going to see starting. I think one of those two things, the Coco ride or...
Can you imagine Josh tomorrow, and we're getting a parking structure?
Imagine Lou's head exploding if he did that.
Another cue.
Oh God, don't get me started. But I'm just saying, with the park. So just looking at all the stuff they have to build to accommodate people, Avatar Land, Coco. Do you think all that can be done in 4 years?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right.
You put enough people on anything.
Amanda says, but building a parking structure at $35 a general parking spot is going to fund the Avatar project.
That's fair.
Amanda's always coming in with the hard cold.
I still think the Avatar project is going next to Pixar Place Hotel. I'm still going to stand behind that until someone tells me differently, but that's a whole nother story.
Here we go.
Talk about not fitting story, right?
Huh?
Talk about not fitting story where it's like it doesn't make sense in California, but it also doesn't make sense next to the Pixar hotel.
Well, I mean, it doesn't make sense anywhere, to be honest, in that park at all. It doesn't make sense in Disneyland either. So even if you put it where everyone says, which is over the Utopia and the monorail, it doesn't make sense.
That's just me saying it, but I stand by it very firmly.
But Galaxy's Edge doesn't make sense, and they transitioned to that pretty well. I think that the transition from Frontierland and from Bayou Country, Land, whatever it's called now, it's a nice transition. They transition it into Galaxy's Edge pretty nicely, I think. I like when you're in Galaxy's Edge that you can't see anything else. I think that's a great.
You're right. You can't see anything because there's nothing going on. Just rocks.
God. The banthas are going to be there, Lou. You don't have to worry about the goddamn banthas. There's more to that than just that. The robots
appreciate it with your ears as well as your eyes, Lou.
Well, that's why the banthas aren't there, Lou, because they won't be able to see anything and they'll be knocking small children over.
Yeah. They just got the animatronic chickens.
Those are cute.
Okay, Lou, you can go spend your time in Bayou Bear Critter Land Country.
Bayou Bear Critter Land. Let's call it that.
We got some.
Oh, look at that.
Look at this.
So we got the zip up hoodie, which has the window on the front of the Walt's apartment and window on the back.
Man, that's good looking.
We also have it in white.
I'm gonna have it get so dirty, but that's awesome.
We have the Walt's apartment flag.
A flag?
A flag?
Nope.
Oh, wait a second now. How much is a flag?
We have the black t-shirt, the white t-shirt, and we have the snapback hats.
Ooh.
Hey.
Ooh. That's nice. I wish it got cold in the first sweatshirt.
There's a week every year, Jen, where it gets cold in Florida. I've been there.
Oh, it looks good.
All right, so the last thing on our list is, I think the Walt Disney on Main Street is a bad idea.
Yeah. Okay, just hit the music to turn off the show now. Just hit the thing.
Well,
hit
wait,
the thing
what
where
is your
we're
reason
arguing
for
and you
thinking
just
it's
turn
a
off
bad
the
idea?
show. You are.
Oh
my God.
What's your reason?
Not because Walt himself. I think it's gonna congest Main Street where it does not have the capacity to hold any type of appropriate line queue without destructing something inside that building to put an inner queue. That outside corridor,
A lot of room in that building, though.
There is, but what do you get rid of to hold the line of that magnitude because you know that first
What if you
6 months.
just do a
if not-
virtual queue for the first 6 months?
because even if they
Oh,
virtual
excuse me.
queue, just like we saw with Haunted Mansion, they still are going to queue up because people want to be the first of that virtual queue group. We see with Haunted
Not that
Mansion
bad
right
for
now.
Haunted
Okay,
Mansion,
so
is it?
then make smaller virtual queue groups.
Yeah, I don't remember getting that bad for Haunted Mansion. I wasn't there at the beginning of it, but when we went, it was like we just walked right on when our time frame came open.
I mean, and that ride's a people eater. I mean, that's like the best ride in the world to put in a virtual queue. Is a ride that never stops. I mean, it's just
and see Walt though. I mean, there's nowhere to. I mean, you can't have everyone line up out the show doors because you're probably going to hear them. So I think on Main Street, I think the Walt animatronics is a great idea, but I think Main Street you're going to congest the days out of that side. Parades, how do parades and meet and greets happen?
I hope it's a virtual queue for a while until it kind of dies down. It's
a lot of people though.
Yeah.
Amanda said the entire building with that museum part at the front being part of the line.
Yeah.
It could be a museum from the archives of Walt's childhood.
You could queue inside that whole thing where they have all the models and stuff, where they always have the Haunted Mansion, like 150th anniversary stuff or whatever it is.
That area is the line for the great moments of Mr. Lincoln, so it would be for this.
Yeah.
But
I mean, think you could fit a lot of people in the queue inside there as well. But I get what you're saying. It's going to be congested. If they don't do something, it's going to be a problem. But I can't wait.
But I also don't think that show's going to be long-term popular. I think only diehard fans are going to go, especially if it's the same sequence. I mean, look at every show. No show that is just a 15 to 20 minute show, if not less, that's repetitive, is packing the house. So
that's a completely different level, though, in my opinion, and that's just because of my love for Walt Disney. Now, I may be speaking out or whatever, but I think you're wrong. I think most people that I'll go every time I'm there now. I don't go to Lincoln every time I go, but when that is there, I will go see it every time I'm there because that's just badass. I mean, that's why we do this show. It's fucking Walt's apartment.
Yeah, but we also have a new generation of Disney goers who don't have that attachment that we do.
Yeah, I think I don't know that's.
But hopefully, this will help instill some of his passion into younger park guests.
Well, isn't there an attraction in Florida that's like about Walt?
The one man stream.
One man stream.
Is that pretty? Is it busy or is it kind of like?
Depends on when you go.
Yeah.
It depends on how hot it is outside. Just people are going inside for the air conditioning.
Yeah.
That's how everything is.
Museum.
A perfect example is look at the line that people line up to take a picture with Mickey versus the line for people that try to take a picture in front of the statue. You could almost snap a picture of that statue with like 2 people deep. Look at the statue in California Adventure. That thing's almost a ghost town next to it.
Depends on when you go.
People would much. Yeah, I mean, it depends on when you go. I'll give you that. But I don't think that Walt show stays aggressive. I think it stays busier than Lincoln does at all given times.
Yeah.
But I think unless they try to change the scenes, which I don't think they will, that Walt's animatronic thing is probably.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to have like the lines down Main Street longevity, but
I think it will at first.
Yeah,
you
that's
have a lot
why
of
they
people
need
who
to do a
don't
virtual
like
queue.
the idea as well, who will not be in that line.
And you
'Cause I
have a
know,
lot
like,
of people who go to the parks and don't have that attachment to Walt.
Yeah, my social media feed, I have a lot of stuff about Joanna Miller being very against it. That's Walt's granddaughter, Diane Miller's daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's why they got her cousin to stand up.
Yeah, that's why her cousin, his grandnephew is the one that stood up with the Mickey ears saying, "I approve."
Yeah.
But his actual lineage was like, "No, we don't want this." So
Isn't Diane Miller the one that always talks crap about
towards
Disney?
That's Abigail Disney. She doesn't talk crap. She just doesn't like the way things are run by.
Yeah.
Well,
this is the first time I ever heard of this one. So, Joanna.
That brings us to the end of the show.
Hopefully,
hopefully
it comes out being good.
I was really hoping Sean get all more agitated about the Walt thing.
He told me to cue the music already.
Well, the way you started it was like, I don't think you did it on purpose to get my heart rate up, and then you said, it's just going to be the line. I mean, that ride is that's not even going to be a ride, but I mean, I can't believe that's going to be the coolest thing ever.
Just wanted to get to the inside the magic from you. That's all. All right, guys. Well, appreciate. What's that?
What?
I said one of these days. What's happening? Look at that level.